assuming Auburn does not stop Cincinnati and win this game, that would be what, 0-3 so far for the SEC?
Yeah, it would be 0-3. I don't put a whole lot of stock in conference records in bowl season, really one way or the other. I mean, I wrote something a while back when the SEC was like 9-2 that it wasn't a compliment to the SEC either. They're all individual matchups. They all have, separate issues. They all stand alone. And now in this day and age with opt-outs and coaching changes and all that other stuff, it's almost impossible to have a referendum one way or the other on an entire conference when every game sort of has its own DNA. So it would be disappointing. I'm sure Greg Sankey and the rest of the SEC office would like Auburn to find a way to get the job done here. But, I mean, look, I think the line swung to Houston being favored like overnight. So, does that matter all that much?
I agree with you, especially with two in the playoffs. But let me get to the more specific question. And I realize all of this could change, although I doubt it will. But I remember sitting. I think we were in College Station, and Brian Harsin and Auburn were riding in there, still in contention for everything. And the end of the season, assuming this does not turn around here, has been rather rough for the Auburn Tigers.
Oh, no doubt. A 6-win season, a 6-win regular season, no matter what happens at the end of this bowl game. But a 6-win regular season at Auburn is unacceptable. I don't care, coaching transition, injuries, whatever. That is unacceptable, especially the way that it went down at the end of the regular season, blowing the lead to Mississippi State, going, 6 quarters without an offensive touchdown. Yeah, the game against Alabama was, that was the performance of a lifetime for that defense, and they deserve all the credit in the world. But, that still doesn't make up for the other 11 regular season games prior to that. So it does, I think, it should bring concern at least a little bit to what Brian Harsin's vision is. I think letting go of Mike Bobo, obviously, to me is a sign that he recognizes that you have to be quick here. At Auburn, there's no time to waste. If you think something's not going to work, you have to address it immediately. So I think in that regard, he's done a good job, especially considering the way they closed in recruiting in the early signing period too. But those things have to be done now because the team was so average or below average, and in a lot of cases mediocre. So it's unacceptable. It shouldn't happen, and it's going to have to turn around. It's not going to say it's going to be 2 and done, but there's going to be a ton of pressure on him, and deservedly so, because this can't happen again.
Yeah, and it is going to happen today. Auburn is going to lose to Cincinnati after holding the lead most of the second half. They will finish the season, 6-7. They're currently trailing 17-13, and Cincinnati is just literally running out the clock. Let me get to the big games, Barrett, Saturday on Friday. Excuse me. Alabama, Cincinnati, and obviously Georgia and Michigan. Your thoughts on those two games?
Well, I think when you look at the first game between Cincinnati and Alabama, Alabama's going to beat Cincinnati by 20 points or more. I mean, it's such a mismatch. I understand that Sauce Gardner and Kobe Bryant are solid cornerbacks, really good cornerbacks, actually. But there still are safeties. There still are nickelbacks. There still are a ton of talented players on that Alabama wide receiving core, tight ends, running backs out of the backfield regardless, that it's going to be impossible for them to slow down. And so I do think the Georgia game for Alabama was the sign that things have turned around, and they'll be able to keep Bryce Young clean, keep him in the pocket a lot like he was against Georgia. I think Michigan-Georgia is going to be a phenomenal game. I think it's going to be a close game, old-school game. Both of those teams play a very similar brand of football. I do think that you will have more of a package and more availability for JT Daniels, because I think at the end of the Alabama game, Georgia, I wouldn't say laid up, but they recognized that they had a little bit of a buffer. They understood that they could lose and still make the playoff. And so they wanted to see if Stetson can throw them out of a hole. They found out that he can't, or at least didn't that day. So they have to have, different ways and other options available. JT Daniels will be it. So I think Georgia gets the job done, but I do think it'll be a close game.
Barrett, many, many thanks. Happy New Year. We will talk to you as soon as this weekend wraps up.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.